All right, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. And I've been going through a series of programs, mainly an iterative Java payroll system to teach you Java in accordance with our textbook. Starting out with Java from Control Structures Through Objects, 6th edition by Tony Gaddis. All right, and so far I've done 6 lectures. The first one where I talked about inheritance and its part and object-oriented programming and talked about abstract classes and interfaces, etc. So that was part 1. Part 2, I created the interface, which I just used to put in some constants. And you'll notice a bunch of these are gray. I'm going to use the def stuff in the next examples. But these are what I'm going to do right now. So these two won't be gray anymore, but that one still will be. All right, then in the third one, I created the payroll, which was my abstract class, and it also had in it an abstract method. Then in the fourth one, I did hourly, which extended payroll and implemented my interface iPayroll file. Then in the fifth one, I created commission, which again extended payroll and implemented the iPayroll interface. In the sixth one, I did salaried, which again extended payroll and implemented the iPayroll interface. In this one, I'm going to go and do piece worker, which again is going to extend payroll and implement iPayroll. Now there's a bunch of errors in here right now. All right. And let's see, I wanted to check something very quickly here. That's correct. So is that. This I want to change. I like to be as complete and thorough with my comments, etc., as possible, to the point of being maybe a little anal about it. But again, I've said to you before, no one has ever come up to me and said, boy, I wish you wouldn't comment your program so well. It just hasn't happened. Maybe it will sometime. All right, so I think I'm back up to date with that. And ready to start working on all the new stuff for my piecework class. So this is part 7. What I am going to attempt to do, and I haven't done this before, in the next part, which will be the last one, part 8, is to come in and just very quickly at the end come in and create one more class, and that one more class will be a part-time hourly and a full-time hourly. All right, and I'm not going to give it much time. If I get it to work, fantastic, and if I don't, it's not a big thing. It really isn't. All right, so let's come in and start doing our piece worker stuff. So this is a type piece worker. They're going to have 2 things: number of pieces and price per piece. So this will be piece worker number pieces made, and this, whoops, and this will be piece worker. Again, I want to be consistent. Price per piece made. All right. That's fine. In fact, number of pieces will be an integer. Should make sense to you. I can't make part of a piece, or at least I'm assuming you can't in here. All right, so this will become piece worker, and this will be int NOP for number of pieces, and double PPP for price per piece. Okay, let me get rid of this. I can now keep my comment here, but I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to get rid of that. My toString I'll change a little bit, but it's not too bad, and my earnings will change. Okay, so I'm in very good shape for finishing this up somewhat quickly. So as we have done before, I'm going to go for my getters, go over to here, code, generate, getter, and I want both my number of pieces and my price per piece. Okay, let's just fix these up. We're here right now anyway, so let's just do it the right way. So this is my number of pieces, getter. This is my price per piece, getter. Okay, so those are now done. Now it's time to do my setters. So again, this will be my number of pieces setter, and then I'll have my price per piece setter. So again, code, generate, setter, choose them both. There's the one. There's the other one. These will change in a little bit, so don't worry about that. And I'll have to add my earnings in there, which will just be return get number of pieces times get price per piece. That's that. Okay, so I will have to add 2 lines in here. So this will be number pieces, to which I'll probably only need 1. And this will be get number of pieces. There's no formatting on it because it's an integer. And this will be price per piece. And that one will have formatting on it. And that will be get price per piece. And that'll be weekly pay. All right, so that's done now, and that's done now. Good deal. So the only two things I have to do in here are my setters. And again, I'm going to cheat a little bit, so to speak, and grab my stuff that I had in here before. I don't even need that line. Just copy that. And so this will be NOP for number of pieces, and this will be PPP for price per piece. All right, so that'll be PPP, and that will be NOP. All right, so let's make my changes. NOP, NOP, and NOP. This will be, my minimum number, I don't have a minimum number of pieces. So let's add those. Let's go back to our iPayroll. All right. And these are all ints, these three. Ints. Ints. Don't worry, I'll fix that in just a minute. Ints. All right, so the minimum number of pieces you can make, I guess, would be 0. What's the most pieces you can make? I don't know if there's even is a limit, but we'll say 1,000. Okay. And that's got to be just 1,000, not 0.0. Sorry. And this, let's just say the default, will make it 100. Okay, that's good. Let's do a file, save all. Go back to our piece worker file. Change our comment. Beginning and end. That has to be a 0. Number of pieces. Okay, so that's done. Let's make our life a little easier by taking this, copying it down, and just changing these to PPP. Okay, and this will have to be PPP, and this will have to be PPP, as will this, as will this. All right, and change my comments. All right. Believe it or not, I think I'm done. So, before going any further, I'll do a file save all. And I'm going to go over to my driver, and now I've got to add a piece worker employee. We'll call them PW for piece worker, equal new piece worker. Oops. That can be I should really change these. And this will be PW, and I need in here two values. I need how many they made. Let's say they made 250. And how much they get per piece. Let's give them $1. Okay, 1.0 is fine. Alrighty. Let's move this up. File, save all, run. Oh, we got an error. Okay. Java illegal start of expression. Oh, right there. Hopefully we'll fix that. File, save all, run. No, it did not. Oh, I've got the same thing here. Price per piece, 0.0. Hopefully I didn't make any other mistakes. Save all, run. So here's my first one. Remember, I was hourly. All right. Then we had a commission. Yep, and I didn't change that, and I didn't change that. So this should say salaried, and this should say piece worker. Number of pieces, 0. Well, that's not right. Price per piece, 0 and 0. So we'll have to fix those. I'm not worried about them right now, though. Let's first change these things. So I've got my hourly and my commission. Let's go down to the salaried employee, and let's change in our toString. That should say salaried payroll object. So that should fix that. It's not that it was wrong, but it was a misleading heading. So this one should say piece worker payroll object. All right, so that should fix that. Give 0 for both these. So get the price per piece and the number of pieces. So let's go back and look at those. Those would be my setters. If it's less than the minimum or greater than the maximum, set it to 0. That should be fine. And throw the argument. That's fine. And this dot price per piece equal PPP. That should be okay. And the other one was an int, number of pieces. If it's less than the minimum or greater than the maximum, throw the exception, set it to 0 and set that, and see what's wrong with it. Are we calling those in our constructor? No, we are not. Set number of pieces, and that'll be NOP, and set price per piece, and that'll be PPP. This and this. There we go. Save file. Let's do a file, save all. Go back to our driver. Let's move this up. There, now we should be able to see virtually everything. Make it a little further down. There. All right. Run. In fact, before we do that, let's clear it. Run our driver. All right, looking pretty fine. This, I guess I could tab each one of these over one more so it lined up. 250, that's right. Everything looks correct to me. All All right. So let's do that. Let's start by clearing this. We'll leave that. We can't do that. I'll have to move that way down. And let's just start with hourly. One more \T in for each one of these. Again, it has to do with my anal nature. Sorry. All right, then we did our commission. Followed by our salaried. And then finally our piece worker. And the reason I did all that is I do want a tab in there. But now that one only needs the one tab. All right. File. Save all. Now's the big reveal. Run driver. All right. So everything's hunky-dory, all lined up, looks good, as far as I can tell. The only thing I want to do is I want to I was going to go one more level and make a full-time and a part-time. I'm just going to stop it right here. So this will be the last lecture in here. I think I've done a fairly good job of going through and doing some of this stuff. All right? Hopefully you agree with that. File. Save all. And I will say one thing before I finish up. What I'm going to do in the next lecture here, or the next series of lectures, is I want to go in and for my chapter 11, what I want to do is I want to go in and I want to start working with my own exceptions. All right, so I'm going to do that next, but I think I might be able to get away with using virtually the same classes that I have right now. The thing that'll change is I want to throw different exceptions. All right, so we'll see how that works. I'll come back to that in just a couple minutes.